Nice to see you. It's a beautiful Wednesday. Boy, yesterday was gorgeous. If you're following along in time, Tuesday, April 7th was beautiful. 70 degrees and even warmer than that. There were people all over the place getting out, enjoying the beautiful weather, and I think doing what they were supposed to do, trying to keep distant but still enjoying being outside. I saw so many people out jogging and walking their dogs and riding their bikes. Very cool. Hey, we're continuing with our interviews. First, I'm going to just every day toss in a little mental health tip, and this is one that I think is pretty important, especially for the adults and the older kids. And I heard a guy talk about this online yesterday, and it was this: stay out of the situation room, which is a fancy way of saying don't have so much news on that you're constantly under stress of information. One of the things you know about the news right now is that there's probably two or three important things that the people on TV will talk about for 2 or 3 hours, and they'll hand it off to different people, all kind of saying the same thing. It can really provoke a lot of anxiety if we're spending a lot of time listening to the news, listening for the latest updates. So try and stay out of that. Give yourself enough information that you feel like you know what you need to know, and then move on to other things and find ways to focus on right now, because there's a lot of things in the future that we're not going to be able to anticipate or control. Try to enjoy today. Try to make today a good day for you and for your family. We're continuing our interviews today, and today we've got Stacie Huling and her daughter Taylor Dewitt. Just such a cool thing for me because I knew Stacie when she was even in elementary school, and now I get to know Taylor as a sixth grade kid, and really a delightful time to listen to a mother and daughter talking about some of the things that they're doing. I hope that you enjoy this interview, and yeah, let me know what you think about these interviews. I'd love to hear some feedback. But here is my interview today with Stacie Huling and Taylor Dewitt.
Here we go.
Make any promises.
All right. Wow, this is so cool. I'm getting to talk to two people from Bellevue, Stacie Huling and her daughter. What's her name? Taylor Dewitt, who is a sixth grader in Bellevue. This is a real treat for me because I knew Stacie when she was probably just about sixth grade, like about that age is when I first met her, maybe a little younger. And now I get to know Taylor, her daughter, in sixth grade. It's just such a thrill for me to be talking with these two. And yeah, you know what we're doing? We're just kind of interviewing some people from around Bellevue to talk about how we're enduring the COVID crisis and trying to find ways to come together as a community, even though we can't meet together. And so I'm just going to kind of interview you on how you guys have been handling that, if that sounds okay to you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the first question is really generic, right? Like, what have you guys been doing for 3 weeks?
Go ahead, Tay.
Okay. I have been in my room just painting a lot because, I mean, there's not much to do when you're stuck at home. So I've been doing that and cooking.
That's like super cool. Just really out of curiosity, do you have any paintings you can show us?
Drawings or?
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, get something you can show us. That would be really cool. I'd love to see what you're doing.
I painted this for Brooklyn because her birthday's coming soon, but I can't give it to her. So.
No, yeah. She'll just have to screenshot it.
Yeah.
That's really neat, Taylor. Stacie, what about you? How are you handling all this?
Well, it's a little crazy, but good. Actually, I like all the time I get to spend with my kids now that I'm working from home. Just been getting a lot of cleaning and organizing and stuff like that done.
Yeah.
Going on a lot of walks.
That's great.
Yeah.
I've heard from other people too that, like, okay, as long as I'm home, I might as well do some stuff that I should have been doing all along, but never had time to do it. So
yeah, exactly.
That's good. That's taking advantage. What kind of maybe struggles do you feel like you've had to face in these 3 weeks? Just the adjustment. What have been some of the struggles for you guys?
Like not being able to hang out with my friends or go to school, because like usually like at school we would be able to hang out with our friends all day and then like go to the park or something, but we can't do that anymore. So
yeah, no, it's so real. Have you experienced like any, I mean, those are sort of circumstantial struggles, anything like emotionally that you've struggled with, just sort of feelings of either anxiety or stress, any of those kinds of things going on?
Well, yeah, a little bit, because I feel like after being away from like people for so long, like it's kind of gonna mess with like how everybody's going to like interact afterward, like after all of this is done. So I guess I'm a little worried about like how it's gonna be after all of this is finished.
I don't think you need to worry, Tara, because you'll be 18 when that happens. So everything, until then, you're pretty much stuck in your bedroom. So
Yeah, that's what I told her. We don't know when she's going back. She might graduate, a week after they let her back. So whatever.
We might as well laugh about it, huh?
Yeah.
There's nothing else we can do at this point. So in my little videos that I'm doing, we kind of did this thing about being inspired or being inspire, and using the letters for SPIRE, S-P-I-R-E, 5 areas that we can all be thinking about and working on. So I'd just like to go through those, and maybe you guys can talk about either how you're addressing them or any challenges you faced in them. The first one, S, stands for spiritual, and spiritual is more than just about church and God. It's the bigger picture of how are you making sense out of this? How are you coming to terms with purpose and meaning, and what are you doing to help yourself stay strong in the spiritual area?
Well, I have been praying a lot, actually. I just find that comforting. But I have a really hard time making sense of it all. I can't really process it in my head or like find a reason. I don't know. It's just so weird.
Yeah, for real.
But yeah, I have found that praying for sure has definitely helped me. That's just one thing.
I have just been like trying, I guess, to find the more logical things so I can reassure myself more about it, and like try not to be so down about it, because there's not really anything that we can do except for stay inside, like to keep ourselves safe or to help it.
So when you say like the more logical things, like you're just sort of telling yourself a story about it to overcome the feelings of it. Am I hearing that right?
Well, more like I've been like doing like research, I guess. Like I've been looking at all of like, I guess, the reports that they're doing on it, like on like the CNN like kids channels. Like I've been looking at those. So just trying to like know as much as I can about it.
And that's helping you not be sort of overwhelmed by the significance of it.
Yeah.
That's really good. That's really good stuff.
Well, I'm the opposite, because I've been just not watching the news at all because it freaks me out. So.
Yeah. And I think, what's really important is even within families, different people are going to deal with this in different ways. There isn't a right or wrong way. And we have to be patient with each other as we go through it. Like, I agree. Some people are going to look at the news and it's like, that overwhelms me. And other people, information actually helps to settle down the emotions. And I think we just have to be patient with each other. That's really good. What about the physical area? Physical area is just kind of taking care of yourself physically, making sure your hair is the right color, that you take a bath once in a while, that kind of stuff. And, you talked about going out for walks. What are you doing to just, make sure you're healthy?
Yeah, so we've been doing walks. When I do go grocery shopping, it's not just, fruit snacks. It's, I'll make sure I get plenty of vegetables and fruits, healthy stuff for the kids to eat, like while I'm working. Otherwise, they just be snacking on chips all day. But then we also started this like at-home workout thing that I've been watching. So I've been doing that every day.
Wow, that's great.
And then the kids do some yoga. So that's good.
Liam does yoga.
Liam does yoga, and Taylor kind of chimes in every once in a while.
What about you, Tara? What are you doing physically?
Like Mom said, like doing like the exercising. So I've been like doing like the normal like gym exercises at home, like that I can do, except for like the running laps, because like my room's not big enough for that. But and then I've been trying to like not eat like so many like unhealthy snacks. Like if I'm going to eat something like that's not like a meal, then I need to make sure that it's a healthy snack, I guess.
That's great. You've been cooking too, you said.
Yeah.
Are you cooking healthy snacks or like some cookies? Because I could use a cookie.
No, I was making cookies.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. That's okay. As long as that's not all you're eating, that's okay. Okay,
yeah, that's one thing we did. She made a bunch of cookies and we just dropped them off on the doorstep of grandma's house, and then we put some
Wow.
in my mom's truck just to kind of brighten their day up a little bit, you know.
Wow, that is so good. That actually skips a letter and gets to relational. We'll come back to that one because that's what you
Yeah.
just said is so cool. But
Yeah.
the I is intellectual, and that's just keeping your brain engaged so you don't just go into kind of flatline numbness and not think about things. Taylor, you've already said, like, you're just seeking information, which is really helping your brain. What else are you guys doing to keep your brains engaged and not just numb out?
My mom has been giving me and Liam, like, every 2 days, she'll give us, like, something to, like, research to try and figure something, like, out about it. And so we've been doing those for a little bit. And then I've just been watching, like, and making sure that, like, if the teachers post new assignments on Google Classroom, like, I'll make sure I'll, like, get those done.
So you're using the assignments that the teachers are putting out there to keep yourself up?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. Stacie, what are you doing, like, intellectually to keep your brain engaged? I mean, you got to work still, but anything else?
Yeah. No, I haven't. just because I work, you know, when you work all day, and then by the time that's over, it's basically put the kids to, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like there's enough time which I never really had time for that before either. So
Sure, yeah. And your brain is plenty engaged doing your work, and that's
I think
fine.
so. Yeah.
Yeah, really cool. All right, relationally, I love the idea of making cookies and going dropping on somebody's doorstep, in this case, relatives. What are you doing within your family as well as without of your family to stay strong relationally? Make sure you're connected and supporting each other.
Me and, like, the 6th grade, we all have this big group chat on Snapchat. And so, like, we'll just have, like, little, like, group chats randomly throughout the week. So, I mean, we've been doing that to kind of just make sure that we're all still talking a little bit.
Oh, I love that.
What do you? Well, in the house, I have been just talking with them, asking them how they're doing, how they're feeling every day. Just to kind of, they just laugh it off. They think I'm kind of crazy, but
Yep.
whatever. So, but yeah, I mean, we go on walks together. I mean, we cook and clean together. So I think
It's really good.
too.
Yeah. I tell you what, and this is for all the parents out there. Yep, your kids will laugh at you when you ask, but in 10 years, they're going to say, my mom never left me alone. She always was there asking, and she was concerned. And I laughed at it then, but I understand it now. So
Yeah.
it's the right thing to do. Right, Taylor?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, she gets annoyed with me. She extra annoyed with me lately. She's like,
Good.
"You need friends, Mom." I'm like, "I
She
know."
does need friends.
Yeah, but it's hard right now. It's hard right now for sure. All right, last one is emotional, and stress, of course, has lots of emotions that go with it. There can be anxiety and fear and sadness and anger and all that kind of stuff. What are you guys doing to help yourselves emotionally? Like, for example, I don't watch the news. That helps me emotionally. Perfect. That's a great example, because why expose ourselves to emotions that we don't need to have? But what else are you guys doing to help yourselves when the emotions start running a little high?
You wanna go?
No, you go first.
Okay.
I have to
Well,
think.
I've been like just telling the kids, I'm like, let's just go for a drive, listen to some music, drive around. That's really helped me. Like music, I find driving around, just kind of keeping my mind off of it. I don't know. I mean, that's about it that I've been doing. I'm talking to my mom since I can't really see her right now. I've been calling her a lot and talking to her, and that helps too.
Cool. That's great. I love the distraction idea. I mean, some people are distracting themselves to never having their emotions, but sometimes if we just sit in our emotions, they actually feed themselves and we end up in a cycle. And that sounds like a really good strategy. Tara, what are you doing with your emotions these days?
Well, I guess mine is kind of like my mom's, but I like to listen to music when I'm, like, organizing my room, because for some reason, like, if I get, like, sad or worried or something, like, something that, like, my mind is really focused on, if I do something else, like cook, or if I, like, clean my room or, like, reorganize, like, a desk or something, like, I don't know, it just helps.
Yeah.
I guess kind of, like, clean my thoughts, I guess.
Wow, that is wow. I hope 100 people watch that and like click their like button on that, because it's true that when we organize what we can, when we control what we can, it helps us to deal with what we can't control. And that is, I mean, as always, you continue to amaze me with how much wisdom you have for someone your age, but that is a brilliant, brilliant observation about yourself. That's so
I don't know where
cool.
she gets it from. Maybe her dad. I don't know. It's
yeah.
not really.
You know, sometimes they change babies at the hospital. That happens sometimes. So you got someone else's kid.
I think so.
No, I'm just kidding, Taylor. I was just making that up. That's not true.
Yeah, I don't know. No, I'm just kidding.
No, so good. All right, so we're ending all these interviews with this. What's one thing you're learning about yourself, your family, about life right now that's going to make you better when this is all over? That you'll walk out of this saying, hey, this was not a good thing, but I learned this and I'm a better person because of it.
Yeah, go ahead if you want.
No, you can go.
I just think like taking things for granted, like so you just sit here and think about all the times you could just, go to Starbucks on a whim if you wanted to, or like go shopping or go see your mom, just all these random things you could do daily, you can't do anymore. So just not taking things for granted, I guess, is one thing.
I think I took for granted like being social, because like most days, like if like my friends were going to do something and like I didn't really want to go do what they were doing, like I would just go home because I didn't want to do that. But now I wish that I would have done that, because like I miss hanging out with my friends and like being able to see them. So like I think I'm afraid of not being social now. Like after this, I'm gonna make sure that I'm very social with everyone.
You're gonna be more outgoing?
Yeah.
I have so much I want to say right now that I'm not going to say. It's so good. I love this idea of recognizing how many things we take for granted that we have available. And in the end, what you're talking about in a sense is gratefulness, being grateful for the things that we have.
Yes.
And if we walk out of here feeling more grateful about the life that we do have, it can help us to better navigate the other challenges we'll face in the future. So yeah, you guys reminded me of that today, and it really is helpful. Anything else you want to say to encourage the people out there? Any other last parting thoughts before we close out this interview?
No, I guess one thing I've kind of been thinking about is like, because at the very beginning I was like, no, we got to do this educational stuff. We have to do this and this. And I was just kind of super strict. And then now all of a sudden I'm like, it's not all about that. Maybe this is about us just spending time with our kids and reconnecting that way. And I'll teach them things like cooking and, stuff like that instead of, I don't know, math. I don't know. I just feel like it was getting it was just getting too stressful, and I didn't want to make this like even worse than it already is for them. So.
Yeah, I think you've learned a lesson a lot of parents are going through right now as they try to navigate how much do I need to be a teacher and how much do I just need to be a mom?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
My advice again to all the parents out there is you need to be a mom and a dad more than you need to be a teacher right now.
Yeah.
What kids need is to know that it's going to be okay and not have the added pressure feeling like they're not measuring up academically. I mean, do the academics, do as much as you can, have fun with it, but prioritize relationship right now. It's the most important thing. So good. Yeah. Last word from you, Taylor.
I feel like we all just need to stay positive and kind of listen to what they're saying, because a lot of people are still going out and doing their daily things and not wearing a face mask or doing anything to help the situation. But if they just stayed home and left for the essentials, I feel like this probably would have been done by now. So people just need to stay positive and keep listening to what's actually happening.
Wow. Amazing advice again from Taylor Dewitt. You guys, this was so good. This was such a great time, and it's so good to see you.
You too.
I really appreciate your time today. And as always, if there's anything I can do for you, let me know. And we'll talk to you again soon.
Yep. See you in May.
Hopefully.
Of 2021.
Fingers crossed. Yeah.
All right. We'll see you.
All right. Bye.
All right. Wow, that was really good stuff. And one of the things right out of the gate, I love that Taylor is spending time not only doing something she enjoys and practicing with art and doing some painting, but doing something for somebody else. I thought that was a really neat thing that helps us to stay connected as a community. So I encourage you to learn from that. And same thing with Stacie, just that she's appreciating spending time with kids and being able to be tighter as a family. It isn't the easiest work environment to work at home, as some of you are discovering, but certainly they're making the best of it, and really appreciate Stacie and Taylor spending time with us. Really excited that tomorrow we'll have an interview with Tom Meyer, the superintendent of schools of Bellevue. Tom will talk a little bit about what he's doing as a superintendent, but also just how he's navigating these waters personally, because we all have different roles to play, but we are all people. We're all people of family, people just of our own personal emotions. And Tom has some really good insight onto how he's dealing with this as the head of our schools, but also just as a person going through it like the rest of us. So I hope you'll join me tomorrow for my interview with Tom Meyer. Until then, have a great day, stay safe, and bless your family.